everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Becky and I like to read. So, I already filmed this, or so I thought. I forgot to hit record. Oh, yay. Anywho, okay, so I'm gonna go through this once again. In today's video, I'm going to share with you the bookstores that I visited on my trip to Salem and the books and things that I bought from each. So the first bookstore that we visited was actually in Beverly, Massachusetts, which is the town, I think, just right next to Salem. And I had never visited this bookstore before, but doing some Google searching of bookstores in the area, I found it and I thought we would stop in. It is called Copper-Dog Books. I really liked this bookstore. I thought it was super cute. I walked in the door and the people working there were just so friendly, so helpful. The woman working there, she was like, what kind of books do you like to read? Are you looking for anything in particular? Can I recommend you a book? She was so helpful. I personally did not ask her for any help or take any of her suggestions because I really was just looking to look. However, she did help my friend Yami find some books to read, and she was just very personable and accommodating. It sells books and it also sells things like tarot cards and games, cards. It almost feels like a combination of a bookstore and like a Hallmark store. They don't have the biggest selection of books to choose from, but I thought what they did have available was very diverse. They had a lot of books from authors I had never heard of. They had a lot of different diverse books. They had books from popular authors and new release books. They had cute little setups. The street that it is located on is very cute as well. It's got like coffee shops and other little shops that you can pop into to check out. And I would highly recommend that if you are in the Salem area, just take a few more minutes out of your day, drive up to Beverly and check out Copper-Dog Books. So I did end up getting 2 books at this bookstore. I got Briar Girls by Rebecca Kim Wells. I had never heard of it. That's what I like to do when I go to indie bookstores, is buy books that I've never heard of, because I feel like it allows me to diversify what I'm reading and find books that I might not otherwise find in the mainstream. So this is a young adult fantasy, I believe, about a young woman who has the power to kill things with her touch. I liked it because it's blue and I like blue. I do believe this is a signed book, which really doesn't mean much to me. I'm not a signed book person, but several of the books in their shop are signed and they have stickers telling you which ones they are. It also has a very beautiful Under the Dust jacket as well. The other book that I got there is Swan Folk by Kristen Omersdottir. Again, one I had never heard of. This, I believe, is an adult, maybe mystery fantasy. It's about this woman who is just trying to take time out for her mental health, and she goes to this lake where she notices some mythical creatures live. So I thought that was really interesting. It sounds like something I would really enjoy. Unfortunately, they did not have a tote bag with their logo on it that I could add to my collection. However, they did have this shirt, which I bought, which I will show you. It says just one more chapter, Copper Dog Books, and it's got some skeleton hands reaching for a book. The next bookstore that we visited was Wicked Good Books in downtown Salem, right on Essex Street. Wicked Good Books is a very cute and small bookstore right in the heart of downtown Salem. They offer a good selection of nonfiction books, some like occult books on tarot reading and modern witchcraft, things like that. They also have a good variety of local like hauntings and history books to check out as well. They are a rather small store, and so I understand their small stock. I also feel like the book selection they don't have a very wide selection of newer books to choose from. They do sell new release books, don't get me wrong. It's just not a very wide selection. I do just wish they offered a wider variety of books and authors to choose from that were fiction. I also feel like they could delve into the whole witchy fiction book area a little bit more. Again, they do sell some witchy fiction books. I just don't think they're pushing into it enough. Like all those witchy rom-coms out there, stock that shit up. I feel like people would buy that. Witchy young adult books, they have a few, but I just don't feel like they have the variety that they could. Another thing that I don't particularly like about Wicked Good Books, their employees are not the nicest. Again, I understand that you're a small store and you're a very crowded store, especially in the on season where you have a lot of people coming and going. You can't exactly stop and interact with them the way you would in a less crowded, less cramped space. However, as somebody who has been in there multiple times, I am aware of who are the workers within the store. And in my last visit, there was a worker who was walking around just straightening up shelves. And not once in the 30 to 35 minutes that I was in there did I notice that that person had interacted or asked a patron or anything like that if they needed help, if they were looking for something, anything like that. Like if you ask them a question, they're very terse about it. So I just don't think that Wicked Good Books has the most welcoming atmosphere, and I don't think their selection is the best. I would suggest if you're somebody who loves books and it is your first time in Salem, definitely check them out. Pop in, see what they have. You might find something that you really enjoy. But if you're somebody who goes to Salem a lot, I would say maybe just pop on over to Beverly and check out the Copper Dog, because they have a wider selection and the people are nicer. I walked out of there with nothing. Usually I like to buy a book from Wicked Good Books when I'm in Salem because I love to read. I love supporting local bookstores. But I couldn't find anything at all that I even wanted in there this time. And I did about 3 laps through the store. It's not very big. I spent about 35 minutes in there browsing the shelves looking for something I would enjoy, and nothing. I was going to buy a new tote bag because they have a newer, cuter tote bag version than the one I have. However, I don't need 2 tote bags from the same bookstore, so I walked out with nothing. And the last bookstore we visited, I don't actually have any footage from because it's not really what I would classify as your traditional bookstore. It doesn't sell fiction books. It is more of an occult store. And the things that they sell in there lean more towards like beginner tarot readings, how to understand gems and stones, the history of witchcraft, modern witchery, things like that is what you're going to find in Pyramid Books. If you're looking for tarot cards, if you're looking for gemstones, if you're looking for candles, anything like that, that is where you should go because they have the selection of all of the occult things. However, I actually do buy stuff from them because I don't know why I keep buying tarot card decks. I don't read tarot cards. I have no interest in learning how to read tarot cards. I just always go in there and I pick out a deck that is pretty. And that's what I did this time around too. And here are some of the cards. And what I do with these, since I don't read them, is I will go through and I will pick out the art that I like the best. And then if I do like a giveaway for something, or if somebody buys a book from me off of Pango Books, I will often include tarot cards in the packaging as sort of a bookmark as well. Somebody needs to stop me from buying tarot cards because I don't. Why? Why do I keep buying these things? They just sit on my shelf. I get no use out of them. They're just pretty. The only other thing that I bought at Pyramid Books is a skull. I was going to get me a big skull like this guy to add to my collection. However, I was feeling cheap and instead I just got this tiny little white opal-ish looking skull. So that's what I got. I also got this hat to add to my witch hat collection. I got this from a woman who hand makes them. She was selling it at one of like the little craft fairs that was around Salem. It's got this cute little skull on it right there with some roses, and I just love the orange. So I supported a local Salem resident and I got me a cute hat to add to my collection. So those were the bookstores that I visited on this last trip to Salem. Let me know down in the comments if you visited any of them and what your thoughts are on them. And that was my haul for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and until my next video, visit your local indie bookstore for me.